once you can get down to a level where you're confident enough just to stand here and do this and take solid blows, because you have to be able to do that. And I won't go into a push hands lesson now, but we call this walking down the street. Anything different happens from here, you hit him. That's it. So someone, you know, these stupid people, they're doing their push hands like this in their suit, and they think that, oh, see how I can uproot you. Why would you want to uproot someone? They come back and kick the living crap out of you. You know? Uprooting, it holds mystical status. I've forgotten what I was bloody saying now. So yeah, so you go to someone's school or something, or a teacher will come to your class or something, and you want to do push hands with you, because they say, oh, this is what Tai Chi people do. We greet each other doing push hands. What a load of crap. You say, g'day mate, you know. You don't greet each other doing push hands. That's just an excuse for him to try and make an idiot of you in front of his students. That's it. Closed. Ego. That's it. And they'll start doing push hand like this, and they'll be looking over at their students like this. And then they'll come with an almighty push. Whoa! Lift him off the ground. And I go, see? But the guy's still standing there. He's done nothing to him, for God's sake. So the rule is, as soon as anything different happens from this, and this becomes so perfect, you see, what we're doing. Loose boxing. That's all we're doing. Anything different happens, hit him. That's it. So if some bod comes in and he's doing his own, put it there. I wasn't expecting him to do that. I was going to do something else. But that's what he should have done. And so many times when I used to train for literally, I'm not talking metaphorically, I'm talking literally hours on end, sometimes 7 or 8 hours, without stop, push hands in the park on Sydney Harbour, there in Bear Park, with my students training, but another one would come, I keep going. And to get to the point where with bare feet, if you stood on a twig and you went, oh, he'd hit you, because you did something different to get something off your foot, or if you went, oh, bang, you'd get hit. So it stops these turkeys, egotistical turkeys, you know, they go like this, but, oh, hang on, oh, but I pushed you. And they, you're not going to hit them, you know. You just push your hand there, and they won't recognise it. They won't even recognise that you've done that, you know, because their ego is so big. But yeah, that's push hands is the culmination of all your Tai Chi training. It's that important an exercise, and the best thing you can do is to find a constant training partner, or at least 1 or 2 constant training partners, so you can do a little bit at least every second day, preferably every day. Sandra used to practice Tai Chi, and we used to do push hands, and she was very good at weapons forms. Then she had children, and that took over from her Tai Chi, but I had a training partner all the way through. I had my students as training partners as well.
Right. How many of the weapons forms have come from the Wudang?
From the old youngster?
No, from the Wudang.
From Wudang?
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how many, but I know there's the spear form. That's a beautiful weapons form. The Yang style spear form is just a shell of its previous. Wudang, Yang style took the Wudang spear form and, from my mind, completely ruined it. Later versions of Yang family, in other words. But the original Wudang spear form is such an energetic, beautiful form. Then of course you've got the normal weapons, straight sword, cutlass, or big knife as they call it, their broadsword. You've got the hook knives. It's a beautiful barbed wire form called hook knives. That's how it starts. Did you get that? Of course, the moon knives or the deer horn knives. That's the most deadly weapon you've ever seen in your life. You wouldn't be able to walk down the street with it, of course. Yeah, they're from Bagua. They originally came from Wudang.
They were from Oslo.
Yeah, because all the internal systems came from Wudang. Not as they are today, but they had their founding in the Wudang system, you see. The Shaolin had much more hard style weapons, like they had the dart, they had the 3-section staff, and they lie on the ground and all this to it, you know. So they had lots more weapons than the Wudang. The Wudang, because it was back in an era where it was downright dangerous to stick your head out the door, they just stuck to the weapons that worked. So you had spear, sword, cutlass, and that was pretty much it. Down through the ages, people have invented other, so you know, some systems of like Jalgar, I think, they have a list of, they even use a chair, you know. They have a list of weapons that's, you know, this long. You never have a hope, I would never hope of learning all those weapons. Yeah. We must do that. I have not been able to find any hook knives. I have to have one made. The closest thing I can come to is one of those pruning knives, you know, used on the trees. It comes that you open it out and it's curved like this. Or there's another something or other.
Crambit.
What is it?
Crambit.
Crambit, yeah. That's a little bent knife as well. But it's not as good. The Bagua hook knives are like, I don't know if you know, the Maoris are one of the most amazing races for weapons ever.
Yeah, you told something about their spear form.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
The Maoris are fantastic with their weapons. I didn't see much empty hand stuff, they didn't need it. The guy with a head this big and coming out with like this at you with a bloody big spear, you say, "Sir, sir." I did the whole Maori thing, you know, and they came up and invited me, and I was inducted into the marae, as it's called, and that's quite amazing. And they pushed the women forward so that if the person you're greeting into your marae, or the group, the tribe, turns out to be tricking you and they're really going to slaughter you and take your women and everything, you push the women forward so they get killed first. That's a fun. I thought, hang on, why are the women coming first? He said, oh, they're not important. And it was only like the 1980s, I think, that the women were actually, women were very important. They were never allowed to talk in the big meetings that they had to decide what the village did in the marae. And it was only recently that women were actually allowed to get up and take their rightful place in the marae. And their weapons forms are absolutely amazing.
Would you ever learn any?
Hey?
Have you ever been tempted to maybe learn one?
I knew the leader of the Maori system called Irirangi. He died a while back. And I met him, I got pictures of him just having a good old chin wag on the steps like this. So he's a lovely bloke. He's just like me. He's a normal bloke, you know. But boy, his weapons are amazing. And he trains them to go and do like the demonstrations for the tourists and all that shit. But underneath that, like that two little dongles that the girls have, the poi, and they do this in the Maori, that comes from a deadly weapons form. Everything is based upon weapons in the Maori tradition. So weapons, they're brilliant.
But if I remember right, you wrote that the head of the system decided that the art have to die because it's too dangerous and there's no more need anymore in modern times.
Yeah.
He did it. So is there one who keeps the system or it's past?
I don't think so. I don't know. I lost contact with Irirangi when he died. Still talk to him occasionally.
You do not know if there is any.
No, I don't know. I've never kept in contact with them or even the marae. Once was enough for me, so that was okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Ben.